Hi, and guess what we're talking about today? We are talking about the proposed. They're just considering it. They'll get excited.
This could be good for me. Lately I was feeling like
All right, as we said before, there's 71 of these rules they're thinking about adding to the pickleball book, the official pickleball rules books, which is created by the USA Pickleball organization. And they also work with the International Federation of Pickleball, and together they work and they come up with these rules. Now, how they get the rules is some people from the committee might submit them, or they might get submitted by people who write them in, and that's what happened. The committee reviews them and then they vote on them, and if it gets a score of 5, that's between 1 and 10. If it averages a 5, then it is put in we will consider pile. So this is what we're talking about today, is the considered pile. And so we're going to go over them, not all 71 of course, but a few I think of the most interesting ones. And so the first one is they're thinking about keeping the drop serve, and they're thinking about keeping it because it's good for handicapped people, people who got the yips, or beginners. That has worked out for them. But one thing that is going to change is you can only hit it below your waist. You cannot, before the people were hitting it to the side and putting spin on it, you can't do spin, and that's what they're thinking about doing, is that keeping the drop serve, but putting in the line that you can go under and hit it this way in this motion, but you have to hit it below your waist, which is kind of interesting. Now, people probably like this idea. I know a lot of beginners it's easier for them to do the drop serve. Also, you don't have to drop the ball according to this new rule. You can also throw it down, because that was a big problem on the courts for referees, because people were using the drop serve but they were throwing it down, they weren't dropping it, and referees were saying, hey, you put some force on the ball, and they were saying, no, I didn't, and there was confusion. And so anyhow, to eliminate that, you can now throw the ball down according to this rule. This is not official, but you can't hit it anywhere, like to the side. You could hit it to the side, but now you have to hit it this way. Okay. Another thing is they're thinking about going back to 0-0 start. We used to do that years ago, say 0-0 start at the beginning of a game, but they changed it into, I think it was a couple years ago, where we would say 0-0-2. Well, that was very confusing to beginners, especially so beginners in my classes. I would explain to them, you don't say 0-0-1 when you start a game, you say 0-0-2, and that caused a lot of confusion. So I just tell them to say 0-0 start. So that is something that they're thinking about bringing back, because a lot of people were confused with 0-0-2 and 0-0 start. Another thing they're talking about, oh boy, rally scoring. That's right, they're talking about making it rally scoring, and the reason being is because it moves the game along, it's a lot faster, and if you don't know what rally scoring is every time you make a fault, no matter if you're serving or if the opponent's serving, that the opponents will get the point. But if they're serving and they make a fault, then you would get the point. So those things are being considered, rally scoring. ESPN likes the idea, because then if they televise pickleball, they know how long the games are going to last and where to put the commercials and get the sponsors, etc., etc. So they're talking about changing it to rally scoring. I particularly do not like the idea. I don't like rally scoring, but we'll see what happens. Of course, if you don't like any of these rules, you have time to write into USA Pickleball and express your disagreement with that, a thought of changing that to rally scoring. So you can still make a comment and we'll see what goes on. All right, so another thing is, okay, they're talking about having 2 serves to start a game. So instead of only having 1 serve, they're talking about doing 2 serves. And the reason being is because they feel, whoever wrote this in, feels that it's too confusing for beginners. Because, and I guess anybody playing the game. But I don't. That's one thing my beginners catch right on to. I explain to them that in tournaments, we flip a coin or you pick a number, and whoever wins gets to play first or choose a second. And if you're going to play first, start the game, then you only get 1 serve, and that's because it's an advantage you get the serve first, so that's why they only give you 1. So, that being said, my beginners catch quickly onto it, but according to the rule committee, maybe they should change this because it's hard for beginners to understand why they only get 1 serve at the beginning of the game, and it confuses them. So that and 0-0 start, well, I don't know. I think my beginners catch on real quick to that rule. They don't have a problem with it, but I guess some people do. And they're also thinking about having, if you're server number 1, you are server number 1 for the entire game, and you don't change positions. That is crazy. That is a crazy one. So if I start and I'm starting server and I'm server number 1, I do not change. I'm always server 1 throughout the whole game, and my partner is server number 2. Wow, and that is because scoring is just too hard. And I think if you stay in your position and you're always server number 1, there's no confusion, there's no, what is the score, who started serving, blah, 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 blah. And I think we're all smart enough to figure out the score. And so I don't think this is necessary, and this is kind of crazy. But I don't know. I doubt that one is ever going to go through. No headphones or earbuds while playing. I never see this on the courts, but 3 years ago, actually, there's an exception here, is I did see this at Arlington, and there was a guy who wore headphones, and he was kind of listening to music, but they're afraid that if you're wearing earbuds or headphones while playing, you won't be able to hear the score, or you won't be able to hear when somebody goes ball. And also they're afraid that you're going to be listening to coaching in your headphones. Somebody coaching you while you're playing. So they're talking about that one, but that, that's a easy one. I never see anybody with headphones on or earbuds. Have you? All right, so let's see. So we went over the rule about the serving. Okay, they want to get rid of the COVID serve or the chainsaw serve. It's where they put the ball on the paddle and they go zip, and then they hit it, and the ball kind of goes flying, and they hit it. So they're talking about eliminating that, and of course that is just driving Zane and Morgan and all those guys crazy, because they love bringing that serve in and, making the serve a difficult thing to return. And they like having that be part of the game. Now, the people who are trying to get rid of it are saying it's really a rally game and it's not supposed to be a killer serve game. So they're talking about eliminating that. And I know Zane is doing a big email campaign to keep it in. So very controversial right now. And who knows what's going to happen. Also, no more spin on the serve. They're not going to allow any spin. Now, there is a guy right now who's kind of like spinning the ball and then slicing it and putting spin on it when he serves it. and they're thinking about eliminating that. So I think we've pretty much covered all the real zingers that I had. So anyhow, you can look these rules up yourself. You can read all 71 of them. I'll have a link in this blog or underneath this YouTube video, or you can go and read all 71 of them. And feel free to put a comment in my blog and tell me what you think. So be kind out there. Remember, we were all beginners one time, and have fun. Keep on playing pickleball. This is Pickleball Terry. Bye. So the big ones, I would say, are eliminating the COVID serve, keeping the lap ball in, keeping the drop serve in, rally scoring, also not changing the servers. If I start off as server 1, I stay server 1 and don't change my position the entire game. Those are the biggest one, getting rid of the COVID serve. Yeah, rally scoring, please.